Yeah. The automatic.
Hello? Yeah, you're going to have to hit your button on each one of your mics.
We'll shut it off.
Yeah.
How's that?
Okay.
Okay, gotcha. All right, at 7 o'clock, we'll open our meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Okay, first order of business tonight is our consent agenda. Consists of the regular meeting minutes dated March 9, 2026. Our monthly bills in the amount of $123,993.10, and our treasurer's report. Any questions, comments, concerns from the board relative to those issues?
I have one here.
Go ahead.
And she went maybe not, because we don't have our treasurer here, I'm not sure, but the $3,700 for wage trim, is that part of what we approved for them to give us an audit, or is that for something else that they've done? You know, if you don't, that's fine.
I believe it's got to be for part of the audit, but I don't remember what the total price was. Because she did say Wednesday night that she still had funds left over, so
I think she's billing us in segments as she goes along.
yeah.
That's all I have.
Okay.
I have a question in the bills also.
Okay.
Did we ever pay the bill to the tree service? I keep looking at it.
It's in there.
It's in here?
Yep. For Scott settlement?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, all right, that's in there. And also too, under the village of Almont, water for the ball fields from January 1 to 3/31, water and sewer. The water isn't even on over there. It's been freezing. They go over there and shut it off after everybody's done. Why do we have a little water bill?
What was the bill on that? $62?
Something like that.
Yeah, I looked at that today myself. I'd have to check with the village manager on it, Randy.
But everything was shut off and we haven't authorized them to turn it on.
Right.
Why did we get a bill?
I will find out for you.
Just like every other resident in the village probably paying an astronomical amount. And they probably don't use half of what they say they did.
I will find out for you.
Okay,
Okay.
good enough.
Anything else? We have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve, accept the consent agenda, which includes the regular meeting minutes from March 9, the monthly bill on $123,993.10, and the treasurer's report.
Support.
Okay, motion's on the floor with support to approve tonight's consent agenda. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Okay, motion carries. Okay, report section, fire department, Chief Don Smith.
Okay, with any luck at all, you should have that report. You can see MFR runs were down a little bit, fire runs carried about the same. It's not a whole lot. We trained 25 of our firefighters level 1 hazardous material, which hopefully we'll never use. Our fire department awards dinner is the 25th of April. You're all welcome to attend. And I don't know who's catering. That's the first question out of Mr. Edgar, who's catering. So if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer.
Don, the structure fires, are those, what were those?
Yes, I didn't write it all down here.
That's all right.
We went to my city twice,
Oh,
and we went somewhere in the village or in the township too. I'll dig it up and show you. Yeah,
okay.
none of them really amounted to much.
Nothing major.
The one in our jurisdiction was a fire in a pan that spread to the cabinets, really spectacular. My total loss in those, for that period of time was $2,700, so.
Okay. Okay. The one in your jurisdiction would be on Kidder Road, Don? Is that the one you're talking about?
Yeah.
Okay. And then it, looks like you had a lot of electrical down lines.
Oh, yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4. So you got them all on the same day, 13th.
Right.
You were spread kind of thin.
Heavy
What?
wind and all that stuff.
Yeah. So what is the responsibility of your firefighters in that situation? You just,
Well, we have to go and assess whether the wires are a danger to any of the residents or anybody who would be going by. If they're across the roadway, then we need to block the roadway and flag it and wait for DTE. So anything that presents a hazard to the community, we have to sit on and watch.
you had 4 of them at the same day, on the same day.
Oh, yeah. They come in groups.
They wouldn't.
All this, well, we would. It's not trouble.
Well, you spend a lot of time on site then in a situation like that, don't
We spend a fair amount.
There is a recovery mechanism.
Excuse me?
There is a recovery mechanism.
Yeah, and you and I need to talk a little bit about that. In the years past, we'd always kind of maintained that DTE has a presence in our community with the substation. We pay taxes, so we're going to be nice. We had one that we sat in the fire hall for 5 hours and couldn't get a response. Even the special fire chief's hotline for help just rang and rang and rang. So after that, I complained and you offered help. So I'd like to get that vendor number set up and be able to bill them for anything over 1 hour.
Which is pretty standard, so I'm glad to help you.
Yeah, I know you are. It's me getting time to go for it. I have been actively searching for a copy machine because I don't know where else I can take it. Let's put it that way. So I whittled it down. I was going to try to get on the agenda tonight for an object seat number with some quotes. I'm real close, and I'll share that stuff with you guys probably the next meeting. I might proceed though, just a little bit, know that I proceed anyway on one because we'll start here.
You don't need to purchase this before the next meeting?
I probably will. But I'll
Do you have a number in mind? I mean, we could probably.
Yeah, I'd like to propose, and I didn't write it up, Randy. It's
No, I understand that.
I'd like
I mean,
to
if you wanted to go
propose
and shop, you found a good deal, instead of waiting to come back, I mean, I don't have a problem.
Yeah, I'd like to say not to exceed 5,900. I think I'm going to be in the 52 to 54 range. I'm battling right now between Canon and Caracia, playing them off each other. We started out in color around 6,500. I've now got them down to 52 in black and white. We started out at 5,900. I've now got them down to 46. So I just keep saying, well, Canon, however I do it, I'm a cheapskate.
Are you wanting to make a motion?
I make a motion to allow Don to go out and search out a copy machine for not to exceed $6,000.
Support.
Okay, you have a motion on the floor with support. Any board discussion? Okay.
Got that, Dennis? That's why we do this thing on the YouTube. I got it.
All right, all in favor?
I
Opposed? Okay, motion carries.
Thank you.
You're more than welcome.
Not the way I usually do it.
That's all right.
No, but if you need a copy machine, I mean, you're gonna spend it sometime, so. Yeah,
You saw the duct tape on that thing. It's just a long story. Also, one piece of information, Terry Wallace retired from the department April 6th. That's exactly 55 years from the day he started, same April 6th day.
Wow.
So we'll see some stuff on him in the newspaper, and we're going to honor him pretty good at those awards.
At the banquet, yeah.
Do we have to let you know, Don, if we can attend that sports or the awards dinner?
It wouldn't hurt to tell me.
Okay.
If you can't, and you can't make it, that's fine. If at the last minute something opens up, that's great. We'll take care of it.
One other question, Don. The SRO reported a small fire in the
Yeah.
primary gym.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I'm getting all kinds of comments about my picture on the Facebook page. I didn't realize it was there. But anyway, what happened was in the gymnasium, they were running some air purifiers. So floor-mounted ones about this high. And they're right underneath the basketball, or just slightly to the left. They're plugged into a wall outlet that's buried in that padding for when they run too far underneath the wall.
yeah.
That plug probably got hit with the ball, or somehow it got caught in there. And the electrical plug, if it gets in and it isn't quite making contact, it can produce heat and eventually burn. So what it did, it set that matting on fire, and it was a tremendous fire. Officer Retzler saw the fire, grabbed the fire, had one of the people get him a fire extinguisher and actually put that fire out. If he wouldn't have done that, he probably would have closed that school for 6 or 8 months.
Wow.
So I gave him hell because that smoke is toxic. Some of it's even cyanide containing. But I was really happy he did that. It was a mess, absolute mess the way it was. If it would have had another half hour, would have totaled the school.
Wow. Well, he did end up in the hospital for a couple of days, I guess.
Well,
Smoking.
one day.
One day.
For observation.
Yeah, good.
He's fine.
Yeah.
That's a brave young man. He could have easily became a hero just getting the kids out of the school, but instead he decided to put himself in harm's way.
Yeah, he's done a great job.
Not many people do that.
No. Very good. Thanks, Don. Thanks, Don. We don't have a police chief here tonight, so we do have his report. We do have the SRO report from Officer Retzler. Any questions, comments, concerns from the board on those two reports? Okay, if not, our assessor's report. Any questions, comments, concerns, reference the assessor? We should all have a spreadsheet and some field sheets from the ordinance enforcement officer. Mike, is this working up to your expectations, or?
We would hope in the future that we would have the current and then also the history of kind of year to date. So I just got it on our computer. It's not a big deal. Just tell her, attach it all so that we can just kind of see if there's something that's still open. We'll take care of that.
Okay. Park board. Dennis, do you have anything?
Yeah, our last meeting, we accepted the resignation from Melissa Schneider, and because we were pretty short-handed, I volunteered to be the vice chair and the secretary, because there's only 3 of us. We need 4. Talked about music in the park. It looks like that's going to shape up for, I think, all of July and all of August, and maybe a little bit earlier or late June. Birthday is coming up. We talked again about the park operations manager, and we had that little round robin with Tim Dyke. And then the homecoming is still ongoing. There'll be an opening of the time capsule on August 15th. And that's about it.
Okay. All right. Any questions from the board? No? All right. We'll move on then to public comment. Anything from the audience here tonight that you want to express? Donnie Steele.
Press it. Thank you. Hi.
Hi.
I'm Donnie Steele, and I'm the state representative in Oakland County in Lake Orion and Bloomfield and Auburn Hills. That's the district in which I serve right now. I'm on my 2nd term. It's a 2-year term as a state representative. And prior to that, I was the treasurer from Orion Township. So I was on the township board as the treasurer for 6 years. And then prior to that, I was a trustee for 4 years. So I am very familiar with how a township board works, and I appreciate what you guys do. I know it's not necessarily the highest paying job in town, so I appreciate your time that you put in, because it's all about community service and making your community a better place. So I appreciate that. In 2012, I ran as a board member, and then I ran for a treasurer after that. And our township is close to 40,000 people, so it's a little bit bigger. And I grew up in Lake Orion, so I grew up in Lake Orion when Orion was about the size of what, Almont is right now. So I really appreciate being able to come up where it's a breath of fresh air north of the border of Oakland County. And currently I have filed to run for state senate, which is District 23. It's a new district. In 2020, they did the census and they drew up the Senate maps and the House of Representatives and the Congress maps. And the Senate map was taken to court and they had to redo the maps. And so this will be the first Senate map of it's an open district and it's a new district. Most of it is Ruth Johnson, and she is term limited, and it goes all the way to western Oakland County, and it's part of Jim Runsted's district as well too, and he's term limited. So it's a total of 17 townships. 12 of them are in Oakland County, 4 in Lapeer County, and then Atlas Township, so 1 in Genesee County. So I'm coming from a very purple district, so this is the other part of the breath of fresh air. I'm a Republican that was voted as most conservative, and so I'm able to be more vocal on my conservative views stepping into this seat. And I'm just looking to get to know people and introduce myself, and then I gave my card. And if you have any questions at any time, please feel free to reach out. So I appreciate that. So thank you for letting me talk.
Thank you very much and good luck to you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Leo.
Good evening. Thank you for the opportunity to address the board tonight. I have a two-part question. Could you please provide an update on the current status of the contract between the village and the township? Obviously, as a township resident, I'm concerned about law enforcement in our community. And then secondly, if there's been a proposal from the village to the township, could you share with me the dollar amount and also if there's a counteroffer from the township to the village, what that is?
Okay, well, Leo, there's no secrets, okay? Transparency is the key. So yeah, we're in contract negotiations, and we've had on the record one formal meeting with Mr. Kirbyson and Mr. Tim Dyke, village council president and the village manager. As we all know, we took a very large increase in our contract last year. We were hoping that we would come to a fairly quick agreement on this year's contract, which we're looking at a 3-year contract rather than a 1-year. Myself and Jennifer Henneke, our clerk, sat down with Dale Kirbyson and Tim Dyke. He presented us some literature advertising Almont Police Department and as a top-notch police department under the direction of the new chief. I think they're doing a great job. I think we all think they're doing a great job. So his contract offer, his opening offer was $950,000 payable by the township on a $1.6 million contract. Okay, last year the contract was $1,476,000. They felt that this year's contract warranted $1.6 million, with the township paying 60% of that contract. He indicated to us that the rationale behind the 60% is that 60% of the calls between the village and the township went to the township, okay? So that, in his mind, validates us paying 60% of the total cost of the contract. Myself and the clerk, and I think most of the board members, didn't agree with that dollar amount nor the ratio of the payment. We have not made a counter offer at this time. I did contact Sheriff McKenna from Lapeer County, discussed possible contract options with him. I have not received a document from him yet, but I did receive some verbal costs. His police officers, or his deputies rather, are costing roughly $154,000 per year. To have a 24/7 coverage, they round that off to needing 5 officers, which is pretty much in line with what we're doing with Almont. If you do the math, it comes to $770, okay? The sheriff also offers a 35% discount that allows him, if he needs to take that officer out of your township for an emergency type run or anything that would warrant leaving the township. So if you take the 35% discount, it comes to roughly $500,500, okay? Now, he indicated to me that that also comes with a patrol car, all right? So the sheriff is on vacation. I'm not sure if he's back yet. He didn't tell me when he would be back. I will be texting him tomorrow or calling him, or both, to find out what his offer will be. I do have copies from Mayfield Township, which is very close to our township and what their contract is. So those are the numbers, okay? And so Dale asked me that if we were interested in contracting with the sheriff and they offered us an attractive number, if our township board would consider letting them match that number, and I indicated certainly would. The goal is not to get rid of Almont Police Department. I think they have a fine police department. I'm aware of your background, we're all aware of your background with Almont PD. It's a dollars and cents, okay? We offered to split 50-50 on a contract if we can get the numbers down more realistic, and I think they're open possibly to that, but I'm not sure yet. We need to meet again. But right now I'm waiting for the sheriff's response, so I have a written document rather than a verbal, and we'll go from there. So I'll hopefully get that this week, and we'll meet with Dale maybe early next week.
Gary, I have just one question. Great presentation. Leo, I don't think knows the number that we had last year with the police department, do you?
Was it 650?
650. You didn't mention it, I just thought that.
Yeah, I thought Leo was aware of it.
24.
Yes.
Went to 650 and 25.
Yeah.
And the offer was at 950, which is double the days.
I obviously haven't seen the proposal from the village, but what I do know is that there's a lot of equipment enhancements that are desperately needed and some building upgrades. So maybe, again, I don't know, I haven't seen it, maybe he's front-loaded the proposal, which equates to the 960, whatever it is. And I'm not saying, again, I don't know, I haven't seen it. That's always a possibility, but there is some real critical equipment needs.
There's $178,000 worth of equipment. That includes tasers, body cameras, and dash cameras, okay? Which I don't have a problem with that. If it's needed, it's needed. It's necessary equipment in today's police work, okay? So I don't have a problem with that. I think the board needs to understand that, and they do understand that the cost of doing business is going up. I think, speaking for myself as a board member, it's a little bit inflated. I'd like to see the pencil sharpened a little bit, and the 60-40 is something I don't think is going to be acceptable. So we'd be willing to meet possibly on a 50-50.
Certainly, I'm glad to hear the effort put forward by the board and everyone else trying to continue the world-class service that the members of the Almont Police Department have been delivering to the township all these years. Thank you for your support, all of you. One other thing I want to throw in is that there isn't a line item for stability as it relates to employee morale. It's an intangible but very critical. I'll give you an example. We have some young officers, and if there's a continuation of this annual push and take back and forth, and that creates uncertainty. Should I, as an officer, stick around or go somewhere else where there's some stability? And I think all of you can understand that and relate to that. So I say all that to say this. Thank you for the effort in trying to get a 3-year contract that will certainly provide some stability. And also, from a monetary standpoint, it would make it a lot easier for the township to budget. Every year we know it's X amount of dollars, we don't have to go back and forth.
They have offered a 3-year contract
Thank you.
with a 3% increase each year, which is acceptable, okay? But it's the initial figure, and the 60-40 split, that's not necessarily, agreeable. If you want a copy of what his offer was or what the village, I can get you that, Leo. See me tomorrow or whatever. Okay?
Thank you very much for the detailed information.
Yeah, you're more than welcome.
Thank you for your support.
So that you know, last year, we wanted a 3-year contract, and they refused. We won't be for exactly the reasons you outlined. They said, nobody wants to have a sword over their head every day to come to work. They said, no. So that's what we did. So you're preaching to the choir of the 3-year.
Well, Mike, thank you for those efforts last year in trying to get the 2-year contract. And everybody can relate to the stability issue, especially when you're raising 2 young kids, you don't know if you're gonna have a job next year.
But I want the public to know, and Leo, and you know this already,
Yes.
that the board totally supports the efforts of Almont Police Department, okay? We're not dissatisfied, we're very satisfied with them. But we have to.
Negotiations with the village.
Right.
They essentially own the police department. Our
Mike.
negotiation, we don't talk to the chief.
Mike, is your mic on?
So we don't negotiate with the police department. It's directly with the village. It's their control and, it's their police department. The big concern, I'll be honest with you, Leo, last year we choked on having to raise a millage. That's not something anybody wanted to do. The offer that was put on the table is beyond what we could even legally ask for in a millage. So it was so far off that we couldn't even get there without having some kind of a public vote on raising the cap on what we're not going to do. So it was surprising.
I totally understand. And last thing, I'll just repeat myself. Thank you to all of you for supporting the department. Believe me, it goes a long way to know that the community representatives and the community itself supports the effort so that men who go out with their lives on the line every day to do whatever it takes. Like Doug was saying, Officer Retzler didn't run away from the danger. He ran towards the danger.
Right.
He did his job. That's what he was trained to do. So again, thank you for your support.
More than welcome, Leo, thank you.
Thanks, Leo.
Anything else from the public?
I just want to follow up on what Leo said. Is this on? There we go. And I totally agree with everything that you said so far. We want to stay with the Almont Police. We think we've got great service from them, but I'm very grateful to hear that there's a proposal coming back from the sheriff that looks like it might be a good counter proposal too. Does anybody here remember when we were under the sheriff before? Was it under contract? Were they under contract before we moved to Almont Police? Or was it just they were patrolling the area?
I'm gonna say that the gentleman back there that just spoke probably has the answer better than any of us.
For the past 38 years, it's always been Almont Village, and 99% of the time, if there was a call in the township, if the sheriffs didn't have a car available, they would ask us to respond to it.
But right now, I think the township's been offered a contract with the sheriff's
You're
department.
asking if we ever had a dedicated
There you go.
sheriff's officer.
I don't think we had.
Okay.
I don't.
Because that would make a difference.
I don't think so.
Okay, because that would make a difference.
I don't think we did.
Okay, thank you.
I thought you were gonna go back to the Ed DRC era.
I remember that, Aaron.
Anything else from the audience? Yes, sir.
Good evening, gentlemen. My name is Jason Theoret. I am a newer resident to Almont Township. I'm hoping this is correct meeting. I'm not too familiar with these. I've lived in quite a few cities and townships in the Metro Detroit area, but I guess I'm going to take a stab in the dark that I'm maybe at the right meeting, but I'm not I've met Mr. Grosbeck once before, a few months ago. So my concern is I live literally right next to you folks at 4740 Holland Road. On May 27th, 2022, just about 6 months after we moved in the house, there was a very bad rainstorm that came to right here in the middle of Almont Township Village. My property got flooded. It took me 6 to 8 hours to pump my property out next door. Through that, I've noticed, the storm drains that get clogged here right across the street from me. Yes, I do sit really lower than anybody around here. Even though I am next door, I'm still considered township, not village. Even though this street is mixed up from what I've known talking to multiple neighbors. Some are township, some are village, so it's hard to deal with who's who and what's what, talking to them. So I did write a letter to the city manager. There was a city manager for the village on that particular date. The next week, sat down and talked to him. He pretty much said, well, see what we can do. We can go from there. Nothing's really happened. It just happened last year again. I had to do it again. And then last week, it just happened again. Living where I'm living, I like living out here, but I fear a rainstorm. I've been in touch with Andy Wagner multiple times, the Lapeer County Drain Commission. He says this is none of his jurisdiction. He can't do nothing. He says you have to speak to the village. You have to go to a meeting. Usually I can't get to these meetings because I usually have to be in bed by 7:30 to go to work. So I was just happened to see you guys on YouTube, so I turned it on. I see there was a public statement, so I came over here real quick, right next door, and I'd like to have this on the record to see, since I've already spoke to Mr. Grosbeck, and he pretty much told me that his hands are tied. And I don't know if there's anything, talking to you four gentlemen, which I've never met before except him, if we can get anything done. So my concern is rain, flooding, and not proper drainage.
Do you have an idea of what the cause for the flooding is? Is it a blocked culvert? Is it
there's multiple things. So when it rains and we have those really hard rains, like I guess there was quite a few inches of rain that happened last week here. Between the two houses across the street, the water comes directly from that way, from where the school property is towards Howland Road. And there is a storm drain there. Well, the people that live there don't do nothing. So usually I'm the one that usually has to go clear it. I have called the DPW and stuff while this rain has happened. I've called the non-dispatch Lapeer County lines. And last time I talked to the head of the DPW drain person here in Almont, I pretty much got my nose ripped off because they're saying, why are you calling 911? I said, I'm not calling 911. I said, I'm calling the non-dispatch. So they're trying to get a hold of somebody to clear the storm drains. And it's coming from there. It's coming over the road. I mean, pretty much the whole property in front of my house, the water's coming over to my property here.
Jason, I didn't catch your house number.
4740 Howland Road.
And what was your last name?
Theoret, Theoret.
So when it floods basically in your backyard over here.
Actually, it floods my whole yard.
Right, okay. So can I remember one time we came through here, wasn't there a meeting or something going on? The water in the parking lot out here was like a foot deep.
Correct, yes.
So to me, that if the water's not going down in the parking lot here, there's a problem somewhere with the underground piping.
Correct.
Where does it go? We as the township, I don't think we maintain any of that. That is the village DPW to me. I got the fire chief back there agreeing with me for once, but
I'm not aware that we have any storms around in this. We don't.
just in this parking lot. So I don't know. I mean,
I did talk to Dale Kirbyson about that. I think it was last year, when you called me, and he's aware of the problem, okay? What the fix is, I don't know, okay? I will talk to him again,
Okay.
okay?
Yeah, and I don't know where these drains go out here. There's gotta be some sort of a map or something to map it out and see where it goes. But coming from across the road from the school or whatever, I guess there's an underground culvert in the road then that comes across?
So there's a storm drain on my neighbors across the street. I have a storm drain, so I keep my storm drain totally clear all the time.
Okay.
I make sure mine's clear because I don't want water on my property. So this last week when it was raining, I went over there and cleared it, and that literally cleared up the road. It cleared up part of the city. It even stopped the water from coming to my house because it went down the storm drain because I cleared it. Because the young couple that lives there they never do it. They never touch it. So Andy Wagner suggested to me, which he said, I don't know if he spoke to you, Mr. Grossbeck, at all last year or this year about lowering those two storm drains even lower, maybe almost about a foot lower.
You mean out in the road?
Yeah, like mine and the one across the street.
That's the village road.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean,
It's their water system. We're kind of, but they ought to be able to run a camera through and at least figure out what the problem is.
Right.
This is
So-
just top fill.
So like I said, I spoke to the brand new city manager that's here now for the village. Sorry, it's not. So I've always lived in the city. I keep on calling it a city. I apologize. The village manager, I've spoken to this one, and I've spoken to the one back in 2022, and they just keep on saying, "Well, keep an eye on it." Well, nobody does anything. So
well, I sometime I'll keep an eye if it rains or something come up here. I'd like to see how it all flows or whatever. And if it's not going down those drains, then it's the DPW.
correct. Yes.
Yeah.
Those are generally a 100-year storm that causes that,
Right.
okay, which we've had many of those
Too many.
lately.
Right.
So I will talk to the village, okay, tomorrow, and I'll get you an answer, maybe, okay? I'll do the best I can for you.
I just hate
It's
fearing.
not our bailiwick, but I'll see what I can do.
I just hate fearing living somewhere and it's gonna rain and I don't know how my storm drains around me are gonna work at all.
Yeah.
So.
You want to step up here and jot down your phone number for me, and I'll.
There's a couple dates from how, how things went down, so.
Oh, okay.
Right on here?
Are these mine?
Yeah, you want to got these right on there?
I'll get back to those numbers. This is really a village issue. We'll see what we can do. All right. Anything else? Yes, Doc.
It's not really public comment, Mr. Supervisor, but I have an issue I need to deal with, and I need to be excused.
Oh, yeah, that's fine. Not a problem.
Go buy your copier.
Okay, we're gonna move on to new business. Almont Music Boosters Resolution. We have a Mr. Brian Gibson here tonight. Brian, can you give us a little background on what you're requesting here?
Certainly. Brian Gibson of Scotch Settlement Road, and I'm the treasurer of the Almont Music Boosters. We're a local 501c3 acting within the Almont Community Schools. Our purpose is to support and promote the music arts within Almont Community Schools. Ways we do that are fundraisers to help purchase equipment, musical instruments, training, and scholarships, just a few items that we do to promote the group. We send them to certain band camps. We send them to certain festivals that we pay for, trailers that they haul the equipment back and forth for different marching band events that they go to, things like that that we do for the boosters. With the bond proposal issues that we've had, lack of funding and lack of fundraising year over year is always decreasing. We're trying to come up with new fundraising ideas, and this led us to explore the Charitable Gaming Commission of the State of Michigan Lottery We want to start doing the state of Michigan raffles that they're doing. One of the requirements that they have is that we be certified by the local community as having an active involvement within that community. So they didn't want an Almont charity being certified by, say, Macomb Township. So that's why it has to be through here. So I'm here to ask the board that they adopt a resolution certifying that we do business active within this community for this community.
How long have you been doing this?
I've been with the boosters for 2 years. And I've kind of helped with the fundraising aspect now because our fundraiser chair is out with a medical condition. So this is something that she kind of started off that I'm kind of stepping in right now.
So I've seen firsthand all the stuff that you guys do for the band. And I got to tell you, the band at Almont High School and the other band members, even at the junior high, I mean, they are the most involved and into it band members, even though they don't have a huge funding behind them. They do a great job. And you guys have done a great job with them. I can't see any reason why we wouldn't want to support you.
And I was talking with Mr. Grosbeck before the meeting. You know, we feel like this township, this community has been fundraised to death. So many people can only go to Yarbrough's, the Smokehouse, American Tree, and ask for donations. There's just not the big business in here that can really make a difference, which is why we're trying something different. This was something that was done by the athletic boosters back in the day. So we're kind of piggybacking and going to try and do something similar.
I'd make a motion that we approve the resolution for the charitable gaming license from Almont Township to you want it the Almont Music Boosters?
That's correct.
I would support that.
Okay, you have a motion on the floor with support to approve the resolution for charitable gaming license for the Almont Music Boosters. Any other board discussion? Okay, this will be a roll call vote.
Andy,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
Gary,
Yes.
Dennis, yes.
And I'm sure the 3 members that are absent would also be a yes.
Thank you.
Okay, the motion is approved. I'll get you a copy of this Monday, okay? All right.
Just keep up the good work. You guys are doing really good work.
Okay, number 2, under new business, Planning Commission bylaws. We should all have a copy of the bylaws recommended by the Almont Planning Commission. Does anybody have any questions, comments, concerns, reference the bylaw document?
I already asked mine of Dennis earlier. so-
Well, you're our representative from the Planning Commission, so.
I got 2 members.
And then you have 2 members here. Is this a good document? 3. Ooh, got a quorum here.
Oh, yeah, we got
That's right. Uh-oh.
That's one of the bylaws.
Uh-oh.
I'm on the township board, so they can answer. No, I think,
If you like, I'd be happy to.
Come on up. Kevin?
For those who don't know in the audience, I'm Kevin Bell, I'm the planning commission chair.
Get your mic.
We got to figure out what's going on with these mics, 'cause it's very hard to remember to turn it on and off. We have been doing a review, as you've probably noticed with the audit, of all of our documents. We've got a lot of new members and a lot of people on the board who are very passionate that we have all of our documentation correct and in order. We've gone, our chair, or our secretary, Bonnie, has gone through the document, made sure that all the links were correct, made sure that areas that were missing or were redundant were removed. We've gone through it as a board and reviewed it, and we find that we think it's a pretty good, solid foundation for us to operate under.
So
I
Kevin,
think what I've been telling them, Kevin, is we've really beefed up the training requirements, attendance requirements, and we added a recording secretary line in there, and we talked about the ZBA. So
Yeah.
it really beefed up our training mandates and attendance.
It really gives us a guideline to stay inside of. And we've had, how many recording secretaries have we had in the last 5 years, Dennis? 5? 4 or 5? So we want to make sure that they understand what the role is. We want to make sure in the bylaws it showed how we support them, because they're a tremendous asset and a big part of how we maintain our records and keep track of all these things, because sometimes there's 4, 5, 6 different things going on, and she does a great job. So we want to make sure that was bolstered. We've had some training requirements, but this finalized it and made it more consistent, I guess would be.
Beefed up the requirements.
Yeah.
It's a good document, and like Kevin was saying, that a lot of the things you'll see happen in the township will be the result of action by the planning commission and things that come before this board. So our secretary's done an outstanding job, and I'm sure, I think she's coming up on a year.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe, I don't know, I'll have to look into that.
So Kevin, I had a question for Dennis earlier and he answered it, but I'm sure the document's fine and we walked through the changes, but when you guys, the next time, if you submit a document, can you give us a red line version so we can see exactly what was changed, what it was, and what you're proposing to change it to? Because I got this and I thought, well, okay, I don't know what, am I supposed to read the whole thing, or am I supposed to?
I could see where that would be.
Yeah, and it's really simple. I mean,
It would cause some
I'm sure Bonnie's
concern.
done 1,000 of them. It pops right out then. It's, okay, you change this sentence to read that. Because if we're going to look at, all the ordinances, there's no way you're going to want to do this, reading them back and forth.
Right, and as you're going to get to that in the next document that's going to come before you, we had a talk with our planner, and that's a big issue, but it's such a large undertaking. Apparently she didn't get it. You got a copy of it today, didn't you?
I sent it to all the planners this afternoon. I just got it this afternoon.
I've been out, so I didn't get a chance to get.
No, I had
Yeah.
some problem. Board, I did bring copies tonight.
Okay, so I agree. That would be
It would help.
That
It
would
would
be
just
big
help.
help. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll try to keep that in mind.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks, Kevin.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Kevin. We have a
Michelle
motion.
said it in January of last year. with the same-
Oh, okay, great. Thanks, Bonnie.
I make a motion that we accept the bylaws of the Almont Township Planning Commission, adopted November 12th of 2008 and amended November 11th, 2020, October 12th, 2022, September 10th, 2025, and also April 8th of 2026.
Support.
Motion is on the floor with support to approve the amended bylaws of the Almont Township Planning Commission. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carries. Third item, Park Board member, citizen at large appointment. Obviously, we've got some vacancies on the Park Board, and we have one that we need to fill from the township side. And we have a young lady here tonight, Candace.
Cautious.
What is it?
Cautious.
Candace, can you come up to the podium? And we've got a copy of your application. Maybe you want to introduce yourself.
Hello, my name is Candace Cautious. I moved to Almont.
Press the button.
Oh, sorry.
There we go.
Is this better?
Yes.
Okay, hi. I just moved to Almont at the end of February, and I previously worked at the Romeo Washington Bruce Parks and Recreation for just over 4 years. I now work in Bruce Township, and I just really enjoyed my time at Parks and Recreation. I have a young daughter. She's in first grade, and we love going to local parks and doing things and, around here, doing, going to Seven Ponds or any type of nature type things like that. So I was really looking forward to, meeting new people in the community and, hopefully finding friends for her as she attends Romeo schools. So I thought, I wonder if my opportunities I could find, on the township or village website. And I noticed there was an opening for the park board, and I thought, well, I think this would be a great opportunity to just kind of see what's going on and meeting some new people and, creating some new fun ideas for the community.
Okay. Any questions for Candace? Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to nominate Candace, God, I hope I say your name right, Candace Hacius,
Hacius.
to fill an open position at large representing the township on the Almont Park Board.
Thank you.
To start immediately?
To start, effective tonight.
Sounds good to me. Thank you.
Support?
Yeah.
Okay, all in favor?
Can I add?
Yes.
The term is till 2029, Mike.
Oh, yeah, it's for a 3-year term.
Yes.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Okay, motion carries. Welcome aboard.
Thank you. I'm looking forward to it.
Okay. See
Nice
next
to meet
week.
you all. Yeah, see you then.
Thank you for coming in tonight.
Of course, thank you.
Appreciate it.
She's got horses, by the way.
I'm sorry?
She's into horses, by the way.
Uh-oh.
My daughter's
Poor girl.
lessons tomorrow. Thanks again.
All right, thank you.
Take care.
Any other public comment? Now and forever.
So I have one. You two guys probably need something signed.
Yes.
Why don't you bring it up now? Otherwise,
They don't have to stay for another hour?
Yeah, they do.
They do. That's very kind of you guys to offer that.
Yeah, we started,
Thank you so much.
Okay.
I used to know the teachers over there, but it's been many, many years.
Most of them are still the same.
No, I don't think so. Not when I was there. Right, Bonnie?
That's right. Thank you, guys.
Thanks for being here, fellas.
Okay, correspondence. Month or so ago, we applied for a grant through Lisa McLean's office looking to gain some financial support to repave Scott Settlement Road. We didn't get the grant, okay? Each of you should have a copy of the letter that her office sent out. No fault of our own necessarily. They're welcoming us to apply again next year. That project, as we all know, is on hold, waiting for Great Lakes Water Authority to do whatever they're gonna do with the water lines that run alongside and or under that road. So I just wanted to bring that to your attention. It's unfortunate, but it's, you apply for those grants, there's no guarantee. We've had some issues, obviously, with flooding in our township and the village throughout the county. There was a gentleman that lives near the north branch of the Clinton River that was complaining that the area of properties have been flooded. Randy, I've got a copy of your transmission here. References this to Nicholas Padula, Environmental Quality Analyst in Lansing, the Water Resources Division. Anything to do with the Clinton River does not come under the authority of the township or the Drain Commission.
Or the Road Commission.
Or the Road Commission. Comes under the authority of this office in Lansing. The gentleman that was affected by this water did contact Nicholas Padula, and whatever happens is between those two, but just for common knowledge on that issue there. Almont Police Department did hold a seminar for church type gatherings here the other day. I think it was on Monday or Tuesday last week, or
Thursday?
Thursday, was it? Yeah. That went over quite well. We had several church groups here. It was about an hour and 20-minute presentation. That's all I have. Anything from the board on correspondence?
Yeah, so I got a couple of phone calls and I didn't get a chance to check it firsthand, but apparently the county has a habit of putting, and this is just what I've been told, they put sand down on Sand Hill Road right before the rains and right after the rain. Apparently they're putting down a lot of sand. And the people that are driving it, the two people that called me said it's like you're swimming through muck. They said it's terrible. They're better off doing nothing than doing sand. I don't know if that's.
What they did is they went out and they pulled the berm off a lot of these roads. And that's a little side disc that they go there and the ridge between the edge of the road and the ditch,
Yeah.
they try to take that off. Then they went by my place. I wish they would have never done it. It just takes all that dirt and puts it in the road, and then if you get rain, it's mud.
Well, that's what they said. Literally, the car
Oh,
is
it's
sideways
oh,
or some of it.
Some of them, I went down Gary's Road the other day. I thought I was going to have to put in 4-wheel drive.
Yeah, it was terrible.
So there's, I said something to Jason about doing this. I said, could you have your operator use his discretion whether or not to do it or don't do it? Example, Tub Spring Road down Dennis's where they put all that limestone. I do not want to see them going down there. You mix that dirt with the limestone, it's just going to be a mud mess. Don't do it. And he says, nope, we're going to do whatever we want. It's been 8 years since you've done it. I wish they'd never done my road. It was perfect. Now it's just a swamp. But what they do is they have their trucks with the under blades on it, and they just try to go down. They went down my road 3 times, 2 trucks. Go down, they kind of hit it, come back, try to beat up that sod that's there. Yeah, it's a mess. That's what that was. So, yeah, it should not have been done. My opinion. But we can't tell them what to do.
Okay.
And I guess as long as we're on roads, just a quick update. Some of the roads there, the road committee has met. One big job coming up soon is the culvert out at Hall Road that comes out of Lady Lake. It washed the whole culvert right out. You got to get Eagle involved because they said, Destin said, I was in Gary's office the other day. I called Destin. Dennis was in there. Pretty sure it needs to be a box culvert. A box culvert is very, very expensive. I do believe they said that there was one up on Barnes Lake Road maybe that they put in. It was just under $1 million. And this one has failed. And I asked, what about a bridge fund? Because there is a bridge fund there where they can do a 50-50 match. I guess maybe hopefully we could get on board with that, where the county would pay 50%, we would pay 50%. And as far as the other update was the road gravel that they have, there's no pit that has made any road gravel. And they doubt if there's going to be any made this year. So we kind of were thinking budget for some of that, but if it's not available, we may want to consider going to some more limestone.
And we've got bids on limestone for various roads.
And right now, the bid that we got out there, it has gone up $4 a ton with this fuel. And it's probably going to keep on going.
So right now, we're looking down the barrel of 1.2 million if we try to, at some point, fix Scotch settlement. $500,000 to put in a box culvert. That's a lot of money. That's a whole lot more than the general fund.
I know.
A recommendation.
The other thing is too, they can close that road down. If the funds aren't there, they can close the road down.
Randy, and the recommendation on limestone is around $400,000 a year for this year, if we choose to. Up to.
Yeah, there was some, I believe Huff Road out there was one that's just failing bad. Howland Road out here, we all know Howland Road, it's bad. So we have not met as a committee yet to try to bring back to the board some suggestions, just because all this kind of hit us. Destin said he had to do some engineering on that bridge out there. I think we can maybe tie him down and find out exactly when that's gonna be coming to us.
You know, a lot of people in this township paying a lot of tax money to the road commission. And the road commission, they've got a job to do. I mean, this is not, it stopped being a hobby when they got their first dollar from the first taxpayer. And it seems like it's always something.
Well,
There's the rough roads, the bumps, the mud, the ditching, the culvert. I mean, it's always something. It would be nice if they just got out ahead of it instead of reacting to things. Just my opinion.
with the pulling of the shoulders, I'd have never done it with a forecast of a week of rain coming, never. So, and I did not get a chance. I was gonna try to get a quote per Rick's recommendation to have every road blacktopped in Almont Township. I didn't get a quote on that.
They're gonna tell you $1 million a mile.
Yeah.
As much as you want.
But, you know, he said he goes up north and they're on blacktop. Why there's such nice roads up there? They don't get the truck traffic like we do, or traffic.
Here, Randy, what's the situation out there on Lady Lake? If you mean there's a potential they should just close the road?
Yeah. Yeah, they could close the road right down. If it washes out again, and then you get Eagle involved with it,
Oh, yeah.
you never know what's gonna happen then.
Right.
So,
Okay. All right. Board discussion. Planning commission audit. Hate to pick on you, Dennis.
Well, we did receive, as the board did ask for, we got the proposal to rewrite the ordinance 39 back in, I don't remember when we got the proposal, it was at $30,000. And phase one of that would have been an audit, which the board approved to go forward with the audit with Wade Trim. The planning commission received the audit prior, or a little bit late before the last planning commission meeting. Some of the members got the audit at the meeting. Myself and Kevin got an advance copy somehow, but at any rate, the planning commission has not thoroughly gone through this thing. But our meeting sequences are just throwing this thing out. We're just kicking the can down the road. If we followed the normal procedure, we would probably be looking at this board, seeing this document and a recommendation from the planning commission probably in July before we get to, if we're going to launch the rewrite. And you'll see that the audit, and I did give you a cover letter I got from Caitlin this afternoon, kind of a summary of what is in the audit. What remains to be done as far as the audit goes is the table of use. She wants to sit down with the whole planning commission to walk through the table of use and add that to the issues identified in the audit. So the planning commission's desire was to advance copy this board so you can see the audit. I gave you a copy of the letter that kind of summarizes some of the issues that Wade Trim revealed in going through the audit, and they did go line by line. So the audit is about 35 pages, and it still will increase with the table of use discussions between Wade Trim and the Planning Commission, so it'll add to that audit. The Planning Commission's position is it does show the significance of the need to do a complete overhaul with the ordinance. And I think in my little cover letter that you got to the board, Caitlin was asked her professional opinion on the shape of the audit, or on the shape of the ordinance, and she said it was in worse shape than she had initially thought. So right now, I guess where we're at is you guys are going to have an advance, a copy of the audit. The Planning Commission has the same audit that we have here in front of us. We will be probably meeting in May to go through the table of use, add that to the audit. We have pending potentially 2 public hearings in May, so it's going to be a very busy schedule. for the planning commission next month potentially. The general consensus of the planning commission is to move forward with the full-blown rewrite of the audit, or rewrite of the ordinance with Wade Trim for their initial proposal. We would probably, I don't know, Kevin or Bonnie, you want to address that, Kevin, as to where we would be looking for, let's see, this is April, probably May or June to move forward with the full.
Right, the impetus to get it in front of you as soon as possible was the time frame and the rate change that Wade Trim has baked into their proposal that at, what was it, July, they're reassessing their rates. So in order to get this thing in under the wire at the previous price point, we wanted to get it in front of you as soon as possible.
So this would give you guys the board an opportunity to wade through the audit. If there's any questions, we can take them back to the planning commission in May. So it's just a heads up.
So we have time to react and get it before the price increase.
So would that red line copy of the audit be helpful as well, or is?
No, so what they did on this one, they actually have, in the
Right.
comments, they've detailed the changes.
Right.
That's easy to follow.
You do need a copy of the ordinance. You do need a copy of the ordinance.
Yeah.
To go hand in hand to correlate her bullet point to each item, but it
Or
is,
at least
it
I can
is,
see they're pointing out what they see as a change or a modification or a flaw.
it's very reasonable, it's very legible. Was very concise.
There is no red line.
Yeah, there is no red line because we haven't changed anything.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
So the initial proposal from Wade Trim, we would move into a subcommittee activity if the board approves the next step and initiate the rewrite. And from her comments at the planning commission, it could consist of members of the planning commission, the board, and citizens at large, if we want to go down that path. I'd like to see a small committee, but welcome anybody from the board. I think, Gary, you volunteered several months ago.
Right.
It's going to be it will be a big endeavor, I think. That's my opinion.
Give it a shot.
Okay, well, thanks for your time, and
Thanks, Kevin.
like I said, I know there's a fair amount of reading there. I got through 17 pages in about 2 hours, so, and that was without really making a lot of deep notes and things, so to really dig into it's gonna take a little while. Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, thank you.
I think the other challenge is from the planning commission perspective. We talked after the meeting about battery storage systems, and the solar ordinance is moving through legal. So hopefully, planning commission sees the legal comments on the solar ordinance in May. And I think the next threat would be battery storage systems. You had a comment about AI, Kevin, at the last planning commission meeting. So that's where we are. Busy planning commission.
I have a question. In this ordinance anywhere, does it cover anything about a grandfathered gravel pit?
I don't have it in front of me, but there are items pertaining to gravel pits, but I can't, without in front of me, I can't.
Right, I understand it, but Gary and I know where, right now, there's a lot of questions, what's the status of it in Almont Township? It's always been my understanding that it's been grandfathered. Definition?
And what exactly does grandfather mean?
Grandfathered in what respect? Because on a lot of the site plans, there are decommissioning. We do have decommissioning standards that have to be met. In the case of
When the pit is
aerial
closed.
tower, when the pit is closed.
Right.
Yeah, Pansera, he's following he has a decommissioning plan. He's following that. Yeah, reclamation, yeah. He's following that right now, so.
Well, I just, while you were doing your searching here, Gary and I have been talking about this. We have one that we don't know. And I don't ever remember, I mean, I was on the planning commission years ago, and it was brought up, and I don't know.
Well, I would say that it probably wasn't baked into the site plan at the time, and that's.
There never was a site plan for it.
Right.
Therein lies the.
I think maybe you have to go back into Ida and ask her if there's any records in regards to that.
I doubt there is, but
I doubt if there is either.
the issue was a concern about liability from the township's perspective, should something happen,
Understand.
okay?
Which I told Gary, you need to go to the person that owns that land and have them sign a waiver releasing us from any wrongdoing here and liability.
I think that is a question for Mr. Seaver, though.
That's what I said.
Yeah, that's gonna be that's way beyond my pay grade. That's gonna be a lawyer question. But no, that's something we can look into. I don't know if there's any pending,
I think
desire
tomorrow
to build
maybe get
more
a hold of
rabbit
Ida,
pits, but,
see if there's anything on record. She would know.
it may not be the time or place for that. It's more of a public forum. Ida's a tremendous resource. Is there any plan to bring someone on to start learning her trade and absorbing all of the extensive knowledge?
Well, at one time, I guess she was asked when she was going to retire, and she had an idea, but I think if you asked her now,
She doesn't really, she told me she's not going anywhere, so for the foreseeable future, so I don't know.
but no, I know what you're saying. Is there somebody standing there?
Her institutional knowledge is unparalleled.
Right.
And we would be at a tremendous loss as a planning commission and as a township if, for whatever reason, her ability to fulfill that role was diminished. So, it's something that's been really heavy on my mind.
We've had discussions, Kevin, about having somebody cross-train, okay? We haven't done that yet, but you're right, it needs to be addressed, I think. Yeah.
All right, thank you, gentlemen. Appreciate your time.
Thanks, Kevin.
I've got one other thing, just to mention, and we don't have to get into a big dissertation about it, but there's been some discussions, obviously, on improving our cemeteries, and I'm gonna try this budget go around to increase the budget for that with board approval. But the signage for the cemeteries and the signage for entering Almont Township. We do have a sign down on Huff Road that we've got a couple calls on it. People are saying the sign has seen better days, which it has. So the board needs to start thinking about, I guess, what we want to do about the signage and what dollar amount we'd be willing to spend to have a decent sign.
You're talking about the one on Van Dyke?
Yes,
Why didn't we put it at the beginning of the township?
way before my
Like
time.
Boardman Road?
Yeah, kind of like, hey, you've been here for a whole mile, but welcome.
We'd like to see.
Yeah, now you're coming into the village. Here we are. Oh,
Makes no
the
sense.
village.
We would like to see the village join us on that, effort. Welcome to Almont, okay? But I don't know where that's gonna go yet, but something to think about, okay? And signs, depending upon the type, you see some of them down south, do we wanna go that, fancy, but something to think about. If anybody knows anybody, I know Whitcomb Sign and Romeo's been around for years. I think they're still there, but we're starting to look into that endeavor, so.
You're talking a sign at the north and south end.
I'm sorry,
You're talking two signs?
probably one at the north, one at the south.
Well, you know what? We got some pretty good donations.
That's all I have.
For masonry.
That's all I have.
I just was telling Mike, we had some pretty good people donate their time at that baseball field up there in the masonry business or something like that,
Okay.
just, make, if we're gonna spend some money, make it that it's gonna stay, and
Right.
I would maybe advertise or something and say if anybody, in Almont willing to contribute to, like businesses or something, or volunteer some time.
And I would suggest we put it in the right place. That's me. I agree. Crazy about stuff like that, but
Well, it's my understanding that we need MDOT's permission, even though if it was even off the right of way, I don't know how all that works, I'll find out. Boardman Road, we're thinking maybe Blake's, that property down there.
Well, doesn't the state owns that little
That
turnoff there?
Right. On the north side, it might be Lumberjack Shack or something down there, I don't know, but it enhances the, I guess, the desirability of our community to have something, so.
We'll just put a police car down there, welcome to Almont, just put it down there with its flashers on.
Just make sure it's an Almont police car.
There you go. We haven't forgot you, Leo.
Yeah, but they're sitting there, there's no cops in the cars.
Deterrence.
There you go. That's all I have, guys.
One question here.
Yep.
See if there's a cop there.
Do we have status on the lot here from Reese?
I didn't, well, we talked to Gary. Okay.
Oh, that phone number's changed. Gary called me and said, tell Gary Priest called me and says, tell Gary the number he's calling is not a good number.
He knows that.
For the business.
Yeah, I guess.
Where do I get the good number?
I don't know, because he's checked with Travis and there is absolutely no phone call.
That's what's on their webpage, so.
Well, maybe.
I'll call Gary, yes, but I told Gary to talk to Travis, his son, get us first on the list. Okay, Jenny needs it done before the election. Okay, so it's not a,
This is a one-day job for them.
yeah, so.
All right, thanks, Gary.
motion to adjourn?
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Okay, we stand adjourned.
Nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you. Good luck to you.
Good luck. Who are you running against?
His name, he hasn't filed yet, so far, somebody, I can't remember his name because he's a Democrat. And, he won't win because it's just not that district, but.
So, do you know what he looks like? No, seriously.
The guy that's filed, that was gonna file against me, the primary is, his name's Andrew Wallace. And so, yeah, I know what he looks like.
One of the guys who used to work for me ran last year and lost, or 2 years ago and lost. And I didn't know he was running again, but
No, he just moved into the district in White Lake. So, yeah, he would not have been able to run here last cycle.
good luck.
Thank you. Years ahead of time before we actually know, so.
Well, if you could probably enjoy the job a lot more if you had a Republican, at least close to a majority in the Senate and in the House, so you could do something. It's got to be really, I guess, irritating to sit there and get shut down based purely on, political lines. That would drive me insane.
It is, because you